why I am not an atheist. It's the same reason that atheists are atheists. Well, what's that? I am not an atheist for the same reason that atheists are atheists. Okay, what is it? It seems right to me.
What if in the end you realize there is no God and you're wrong? That's a possibility, right? Or you're too stubborn to acknowledge that.
Dominos illuminatium mea.
Eh?
The Lord is my light.
I was trying to have a serious conversation.
Oh, it's the motto of the Oxford University.
Yeah, thanks.
Come on. Wasn't there a time when the brightest minds like Newton believed in God?
Yes, there was a time in the past.
This belief system led to the scientific revolution in 16th and 17th centuries. They believe there is law in nature because they believed in the lawgiver.
So what? They've all been proved wrong with time.
Okay, let's assume they were all wrong for believing in God. What does that prove?
What does that prove? It proves they were wrong.
No, it proves that we can also be proven wrong with time. So just relax and enjoy your life. And let be.
What was that you said in the beginning?
Dominos illuminatio mea.
Yeah. Tumi roz ullu banati ho mera.
Francis Bacon stated that men prefer to believe what they prefer to be true. Frank Zappa, rock musician, 20th century, quite a character. He asserted that one of my favorite philosophical tenets is that people will agree with you only if they already agree with you. You do not change people's minds. True in many cases. Of course, theists and atheists are trying to change other people's minds. I'm also doing it in this series of talks. But I'm trying to give both sides of the story. Talking about stories, our beloved Guru Dev, Srila Prabhupada, told a story of the scissors and the knife. Two men saw two pieces of paper that had obviously previously been one. And one of them said, oh, someone cut it with a pair of scissors. And the other said, no, looking at it, it must have been a knife. And the first one said, no, it must have been scissors.
No. What I said, it is cut with a knife.
Scissors.
Knife.
Scissors.
You're teasing me.
No, I'm not teasing you. I'm just saying scissors.
You're teasing me.
Scissors.
Huh?
Scissors.
What are you talking about? Huh?
Scissors! Scissors! Knife! Scissors!
Scissors.
Okay. Do you know how to swim?
No, why?
Yeah.
Scissors! Scissors! Knife! Scissors! No! 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 No!
Up till the last breath, he wouldn't budge. Anyway, I'll say it again. I am a theist for the same reason as I contend are most atheists. It feels right to me. Not to throw out logic, reason, and everything, but yeah, it feels right. Although theists and atheists argue over what is correct, being a theist or an atheist is a state of mind, which seems to lie as much in psychology and cultural conditioning. It seems to be more a psychological question, more than one that can be determined only by science and philosophy. Cultural conditioning, consider this. Atheists who by their discussions or examination of the facts become theists. See, I'm not saying that it's not intellectual, but the cultural conditioning is a very strong factor. So we find in the Western world, when atheists become theists, they almost always become Christians. Why should that be, when there are so many other different theistic possibilities?
You happen to have been brought up, I would presume, in the Christian faith. You know what it's like not to believe in a particular faith because you're not a Muslim, you're not a Hindu. Why aren't you a Hindu? Because you happen to have been brought up in America, not in India. If you'd been brought up in India, you'd be a Hindu. If you were brought up in Denmark in the time of the Vikings, you'd be believing in Wotan and Thor.
We all tend to think that our opinions and worldview and life choices have been formed by our intelligence, by informed, reasonable decision-making. But psychological and cultural factors are at least as important. Of course, people don't choose their illusion. They are influenced by others and have tendencies to go this way or that way. So the tendency to accept atheism or theism is not necessarily decided by philosophy or science, primarily. Why are Muslims Muslims? The huge majority of Muslims are Muslims because they were born into a culture of Islam. The same thing of Christians. The huge majority of Christians are Christians because they were born into it. In Thailand, the huge majority of the population is Buddhist. They believe in Buddhism as it's propagated and practiced in Thailand. They don't think about it why somebody. It's not that people go through and look at all the philosophies and belief systems of the world and then decide on one. People just go along with what's going on around them. Another factor is karma. As described in the Bhagavad Gita, karma dictates not only what kind of body we get, but is also a major factor in what kind of mentality we take into our next life. Why are some people born in a situation where from the beginning they imbibe a sense of God consciousness, and others are born in a situation from the beginning they are indifferent to God, or maybe antagonistic, or maybe have no idea about God whatsoever? That's a big question for Christians who say that God created us and you either accept Jesus or you have to burn in hell forever. Then why did God make some people born in Thailand where they don't even have a word in the Thai language which corresponds to the word or concept of God in the English language? Did God create them all to throw them into hell forever? Doesn't seem like a very good theology. Again, reincarnation should be studied. Along with the cultural influences, we are forced to cope with our genetic and biological makeup. We have no choice. Some bodies can move fast, they're very strong, and they're capable of sporting achievements. Not everyone has that. We're all different, and the place and circumstances in which we are born heavily shape our outlook. Physical abilities, mental abilities, intellectual abilities, and the way we look at life are much influenced by external factors.
up, right, left hook. 1 2 left hook है। देख भाई, अपनी एकेडमी बढ़िया चल रही थी और बालक बढ़िया मेडल लाऊं थे और मेरे तक गणे चिड़े भी थे भाई। उनमें से एक ने मेरे सिर में गोली मारी और मैं मर गया। अरे फिर आ गया मरू को नहीं जब तक ओलंपिक में मेडल नहीं लिया हूँ। ये चैन जाने थी, ऊपर गार्ड रख, ऊपर गार्ड रख। हाँ, पैरा ने भी चला। देख भाई, मैं पिछले जन्म में इस एकेडमी का कोच था। यह काल भी मेरी थी और आज भी मेरी है।
Every civilization has a story, a creation myth. In Japan, people, or the traditional culture says, that they all came from the sun god. The present story in the present age is the Big Bang story, that the universe popped out of less than nothing for less than no reason. Faith, which is a psychological condition, is needed to believe that. This is the story of materialistic reductionism, that we just use our intellect, and by applying our intellect, we can understand everything by the scientific method. This is what Dr. Maya calls scientific materialism. It's a worldview by psychology. Some people accept it. I'm not an atheist. I don't.
पता नहीं कब तक मुझे इस तरह से काम करना पड़ेगा।
ऐसा क्या काम करना पड़ गया तुम्हें?
सारे दिन फोन चलाने वाला आदमी मुझे बता रहा है कि ऐसा क्या काम करना पड़ गया मुझे।
रानी की तरह रह रही हो, इतना बढ़िया वाइपर दिलवा रखा है तुम्हें, खड़े खड़े पोछा लगा रही हो।
ये रानी पोछा ना, ये हाथ हिलाने की जगह भी नहीं है। रानी को हाथ भी नहीं हिला पा रही है रानी।
एक मिनट चुप हो जाओ, फोन आ रहा।
समझाया था ना कि जो छोटा सा प्लॉट ले लो।
हाँ भाई।
और उसमें छोटा सा मुझे घर बना के दे दो। लेकिन नहीं, बड़ा, वो बड़ा इतना बड़ा खंडर खेत ले रखा है, उसमें गाय गोबर कर रही है, घास बड़ी बड़ी हो रही है, घास उग गई है। अब मुझे
एक मिनट चुप हो जाओ भैया।
पैसे तो है नहीं बनवाने के।
मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि
मुझे इस कबाड़ खाने में, किराए के कबाड़ खाने घर में रख रखा है। बस ये ऐसे ही मैं करती रहूं।
क्या हो गया?
पता नहीं कब तक ऐसे करना।
बोल रहा हूँ, फोन आ रहा है, फोन पे बात नहीं करने दोगी?
अरे मोगी, ये क्या किया?
पापा, मुझे लगा कि बिग बैंग से अगर ये पूरा यूनिवर्स बन सकता है तो एक स्मॉल बैंग से हमारा घर तो बन ही जाएगा। सॉरी पापा।